Okay, so the hierarchy is now cleaned up quite a lot. So I've put everything into their own into their own folders, and we've got a few items that I can just keep directly on the hierarchy. Not a problem. Now, what I was thinking, we've still got a couple of props that we can easily put into this main town area, just to make sure that we know that this is the blacksmith's house. Under the main prefabs, we actually have one of these. Okay, so we can just bring one of these in just so that it kind of stands out a little bit more, so that we know exactly what it is. Also, I was thinking we might be able to use the cart as well, which I believe is just here. So if I drag the cart in, this might be something that is going to be used quite often in a small town like this. It might also be associated with like farming as well, so where we have our farm over here, I might actually just bring in the cart as well. Okay, now if I press F to get close to this, we've also got some hay somewhere, or is it straw? I'm not sure. Straw. Okay, so if I bring straw in and then just move this up, you can also have a cart full of straw right there. Make sure that it's firmly on there. Okay, it's alright. It's not the best looking straw I've ever seen, but it kind of fits, you know, it makes it look more fit for purpose, if you like. Great, we do have more elements as well that we're going to put in later, but for now I'm wanting to effectively set this up ready for lighting, and then we're going to bake a light map. Okay, so first of all, I just want to change the sky because it looks a little bit bland for this type of scene. So if we go into items, we should have something called TGU Skybox Pack, and I believe it's New Dawn, and we've got a New Dawn sky. So if I just click and drag directly over here, now we can see that we've got this hand painted kind of sky. It looks a little bit more, you know, like it would fit this particular type of scene, and you'll also notice that the lighting from that is also affecting our scene. Now the first thing that I want to do is over in the center here, I'm looking at these shadows. I actually want to change the direction of the shadows. So if I click on directional light and over in inspector, I have the ability to actually rotate this on the X and the Y. So if I click and drag on the X, you'll see that those shadows will now start to move. Okay, and I kind of want this almost top down kind of look, and then on Y it will basically just rotate them. So I want something where it's almost like the light is casting shadows directly down onto the surface of the terrain. And what this does, it actually brightens everything up quite a lot, and it makes it slightly more cartoony in my opinion. Okay. Yep, so I'm going to go with that. I also want the light to take on slightly more orange sort of look, so I'm going to click on the colour and I'm just going to bring it a little bit further down. Okay, so that it makes it a little bit more orange, and then I'm just going to move it on the colour wheel down into the actual oranges. So the hexadecimal value is E7C9A9. Okay, and that's just going to make it a little bit warmer, and we'll see this when we actually bake it, it becomes a lot warmer. Okay, so what we have to do before we actually do bake this scene is we need to ensure that all of our objects that we've placed in so far are all marked as static. Okay, so for example, if I just click on this cart, we've got this little section at the top here that says static, and if we click on the drop down, it will, once we click static, it will affect all of these different things. Static is effectively telling Unity this object is not going to move. It's going to be here for the duration of the game. You don't have to do any math or calculation on it. It's just going to be stuck there. So all of these things, it can contribute to all of these things, which includes lighting. Okay, so as soon as I click static, yes, change children on everything. That's basically all of these items. That is now an object that will not move, nor can it be moved, nor will it animate. Okay, so just be careful with that. And that will then be applied to any baked light maps that we create. If it's not static, like this straw, it will not be included in a light map. Alright, it will get completely ignored. So let's just mark that as static. Let's go through pretty much all of these, not the female character there. Let's just mark all of these as static. Yep, change children, so everything is now static. Okay, not the directional light. The island should already be marked as static. The water we don't want to be marked as static because that has an animation on it. If we mark it as static, that animation will not work. Okay, so we've got all of these items. Just going to go right down to the bottom. Just going to mark them all as static. Yep, change children. Okay, and there we go. Everything is now ready for some kind of a baked light map. However, before I do so, I want to start putting some lights in order to make a creative kind of look for this scene. And that's what we're going to do in the next video.